Thank you for the opportunity to introduce myself. My name is Angelica Valenzuela. I was born and raised in Alpine, Texas, and I am one of 7 children. My father, with a 3rd grade education and a language barrier, was a railroad employee. My mother, with a 6th grade education, was a homemaker, and she raised 7 children. My parents both believed that a good education and hard work was the key to creating a brighter future for ourselves. Therefore, they encouraged each one of us to pursue a degree. We all received our bachelor's, most received a master's, and one received his doctorate's degree. All but one sibling had a career in education, either as a teacher, a counselor, a principal, or a superintendent. As you can see, education runs in my family. I attended Sul Ross State University and graduated with a bachelor's in education and a master's in counseling. I moved to Pecos 30 years ago to accept the 3rd grade position at Barstow Elementary. After meeting the children, the parents, the staff, and the community, I knew that I would call Pecos home. Soon after, I met my husband, Steve, who at that time was working at the Reeves County Hospital Pharmacy. After marriage, we both knew that Pecos was where we wanted to raise our children. Both children were active and participated in many academic and athletic events. After graduating from Pecos, they both attended Texas Tech. Caleb graduated from Tech, and he is now continuing his education at the optometry school at the University of Missouri in St. Louis, while Kinsey is completing her biology and chemistry degree this summer in pursuit of a medical degree. After 24 years in the Pecos school system, I decided to leave my career and start a business alongside my husband. Leaving the school system was not an easy decision, but I knew it had to be made. In the past, I was blessed to have served on the city council as well as the school board. It was an honor and a humbling experience to represent the people of Pecos, and it is my hope to serve you once again. Thank you.
Good evening. I'd like to start off by thanking y'all for taking time out of your busy schedule to come out and give us the opportunity to talk to you. I see a lot of familiar faces in the crowd and some I don't know, so love to meet y'all if you get a chance. My name is Kyle Taylor. I'm married to Myra Beatheless Taylor. We have 3 wonderful children, Michael, Kelly, and Mackenzie. I was born and raised here in Pecos and find it a wonderful place to live and raise my family. Both Myra and I are graduates of PBTISD, along with our 2 oldest kids, Michael and Kelly. I'm currently a surface landman at Oxy, and I've owned and managed multiple businesses over the years here in Pecos. Myra is the director of nursing in the home health division at the Reeves Regional Hospital here in Pecos. Michael went on after graduation to get a business degree from Angelo State University and is a sales manager for Permian International Auctions. Kelly is currently finishing up her architect degree at UT Austin, and Mackenzie is currently a junior at high school and is very active in community. I was Reeves County Commissioner for 4 years. I've served as a member of the Reeves County Junior Livestock Show Committee since 2000. I've been the GOAT Superintendent and Sales Chairman since 2004. I've been involved in many things over the years with kids, from stock show, auto mechanics, programs at school, sports, and band. Thank you all very much.
Good evening, everyone. I first want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time to listen. My name is Emily McKinney, and I'm running for school board trustee for PBTISD. I grew up in a small farming and ranching community outside of Fort Worth. I attended college at the Tarleton State University, where I earned a degree in interdisciplinary studies. During that time, I met my husband, Jake. Jake is born and raised here in Pecos. He is the youngest son of Clay and Brenda McKinney. I worked for Weatherford ISD prior to moving to Pecos. Upon arriving in Pecos, I worked at Austin Elementary as a first grade teacher before becoming a stay-at-home mom to raise our oldest son, Brazos. During those years at home, I became very involved in the community. I served on the Main Street Board, and I'm an active member and former president of the Pecos Women's 20th Century Club. I was one of the driving forces in creating our Pumpkin Spice Run, as well as instrumental in creating the Father-Daughter Dance. I currently serve as the West of the Pecos Rodeo Secretary and Treasurer, where I was instrumental in creating the West of the Pecos Playdays and Cloverleaf Classic. Giving back to my community and creating opportunities for our citizens and our children is something that is very important to me. I currently co-own McKinney Outfitters, a women's clothing boutique and gift shop. However, my greatest accomplishment is hands down our 3 children, Brazos, Gage, and Lindy, who are all students at PBTISD. I spend most evenings and weekends chasing them to baseball, dance, flag football, stock shows, and any and everything in between. They are absolutely my pride and joy, and being their mother is hands down my favorite job and greatest accomplishment. Thank you.
Muy buenas tardes a todos y felices Pascuas. Happy Easter to everyone. My name is Samuel Sam Espinosa Anchondo, the son of the late Amelia Espinosa Anchondo and Crescencio Luján Anchondo. There are 13 children of us, and I'm the 10th child of my family. I am currently the director of the local community college with Odessa College, going on 3 years of experience. I have worked with Salvador State University for 6 years, so I have a total of 9 years in higher education. I was born and raised in Pecos on the north side of town. I went to Lamar Elementary from 1st to 6th grades at BALLOT Junior High and Pecos High School. I graduated in 1997. I was part of the award-winning Pecos Eagle Marching Band, receiving Division I in marching contests and sweepstakes. I graduated from the University of Texas in El Paso in 1997 in sociology and philosophy, and a master's degree in the University of St. Thomas in Houston in the discipline of Master in Divinity in 2020. I give thanks to God, my family, church, family, and educators such as Barbara Scown, Dilma Molinar, Jesse Viescas, Joanne Capshaw, or Joni Capshaw, Baba Williams, Brother Workman, Mr. Barfield, a great man, Larry Sloan, who was a great vocational skills counselor when I was at the high school, to name a few. You are part of me receiving my college degrees. Thank you so much. I will retire when the good Lord calls me home to rest, so no plans of retirement soon, I hope. I am looking forward and going to vacation soon to Colombia, South America, where the community of Pecos helped construct a church called Jesus Misericordioso. I am very proud that Pecos was able to help a church in a different country. Me da mucho gusto de presentarme hoy en esta tarde y me estoy muy orgulloso porque no nomás por mi experiencia que ha estado en la mesa directiva de la escuela, pero aquí estoy de corazón. Yo voy a servir de corazón y muchas gracias por su tiempo. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay, as a taxpayer, a business owner, and an educator, and a mom of 2 Pecos ISD graduates, I believe that I can be part of moving the Pecos School District from good to great. My professional and personal experience have prepared me to be a school board member. My unique experiences and point of view as a parent, a teacher, and a business owner will add a different perspective to our board. As a school board member, I would have the opportunity to be an advocate for all parents, especially the parents whose voices go unheard by the administration and those who are afraid to speak up in fear of retaliation. I would be an advocate for the children of our school district so that they will have every opportunity afforded to them to achieve their highest potential in the academic and athletic sectors. I would also be an advocate for the staff who may feel overwhelmed and undersupported by the school system. As a former teacher, I know the challenges of balancing instruction, curriculum changes, statewide testing, and student behaviors. I know how to ask questions regarding resource decisions and policies that impact all students, staff, and families. I understand what it is like to be in the classroom and know what teachers need to be successful. I will work to implement strategies to recruit and retain the best teachers for our students. I am a person who will do research in order to make sensible decisions for student outcomes. I will be one who will ask questions. I will search for those honest and transparent answers and not be afraid to hold people accountable. I am a person who will additionally, service on the school board allows me to play an active role in shaping the future of education in our community and provide an opportunity to work collaboratively with others to address important educational issues. Ultimately, I am running for office because our children, our community, and our future deserve a board that will fight for, share with, and listen. Thank you.
I'm seeking election for a seat on the PBTISD school board. I've always encouraged my kids to be involved in the community. Currently, Mackenzie is the president of student council and is very active in the school projects. With that being said, it has involved me to be more up to date with the current things going on in the school district. So once the 2 seats came up for election, I thought to myself, here I sat wanting my kids to be involved, and now's my chance to step up and do what's my part. So here I am tonight. I'm not running for election with hidden agendas or out to prove anything. I like what's going on with the PBTISD at the moment and would love to see it continue. With the last bond getting passed and new schools and learning facilities being built, along with staff housing, it's, to me, is going in the right direction. With the current local economy booming, it is now time to keep the good things going. I would love to see the bonds pass on this upcoming election and help continue seeing new things being built with no tax increase to the taxpayer. If elected, I will work hard for the student and staff. I feel I bring a lot to the table with my background as a commissioner, understanding construction, and my business-minded. I am business-minded. I am a hardworking, honest person that will do the best for your children. Thank you.
As a business owner, I see the impact great schools and great facilities have on our community. Whether it's recruiting specialized people such as doctors, nurses, civic leaders, teachers, new businesses in town, all those decisions are greatly impacted by the school system. A great school system has a large economic impact on our community. The past 2 years, our school financial audit has had 0 findings under the current administration. It has been well over a decade since we have had a financial audit with no findings. This is huge. It means our taxpayer dollars are being used correctly. Not only that, but we have a school bond passed 2 years ago in May that is almost 50% paid off. Nearly $90 million paid off in just 2 years. I want to be on the board to help ensure that we continue to be fiscally responsible and not repeat any of the financial issues we've had with past administrations. As a former teacher, I know the struggles our teachers face daily in the classroom. The instability in the board and in upper administration has been detrimental to our teachers. It's incredibly difficult to do the job of educating children when teachers are constantly dealing with job turnover and forced to learn new teaching practices and methods of operation with each new administration. We must create stability in the board and in the administration to ensure that the people tasked with educating our children have a stable work environment. As a parent, I want all children, mine and yours, to learn the value and heart of a small town at home. I also want them to have a school district that provides the highest quality modern education so that they have a competitive edge when they enter the job market. We need consistency and stability in our school board and in our administration to achieve these goals. Consistent, stable leadership leads to consistent educational results. I believe the proof is in the pudding because we currently have the longest tenured superintendent in over a decade, and we have the highest academic ratings we have had during that time. My goal is to improve our schools based on my experience as a business owner, a former teacher, and as a parent. I believe this trifecta gives me the ability to see the district from every angle. I know how, and I enjoy serving my community and giving of my time to improve the community in which I live, and I'm ready to take on this task.
I have been a previous school board member back in 2014 and 2017. It was a challenge. It was not easy. But I've learned a lot, and I've got to know working with the board. I expect to be doing the same. So I'm gonna make it very simple and quick. My experience in working in higher education, I would like to see, and the school district is doing a great job, I would like to see for them to continue supporting our seniors receiving associate's degrees as when they graduate from high school. I would like to see more students, and not only that, but to encourage somehow the parents of these students on how and going back to school. And I think in coming together, the school, the county, the city, and the hospital district, coming together and educating our people here in the community will be a great asset for our community. Because we do have the resources. We just need to come together and do work for our people. This is why I'm running for school board.
Thank you. Well, school board members play a critical role in ensuring the success of a school district. To contribute effectively to school board operations, we should possess a range of skills and qualities. Here are some skills that can be particularly helpful if I was a board member. Communication skills. School board members should be able to communicate effectively with other board members, district staff, with parents, and other stakeholders. This includes being able to listen actively, express our ideas clearly, and build consensus. Collaboration skills. The board works as a team, and it's important for each member to be able to collaborate and work well with others. Being able to compromise, build consensus, and work towards common goals is critical for the success of the district. Number 3, leadership skills. School board members should be able to provide leadership and vision for the district. This includes being able to set priorities, develop policies, and hold district staff accountable for achieving results. Analytical and critical thinking skills. The school board member should be able to analyze data and information to make informed decisions. This includes being able to identify key issues, evaluate options, and make sound judgments. Financial management skills. School board members should be able to manage the district's finances effectively. This includes being able to understand the budgets, prioritize spending, and make informed decisions about resource allocations. Knowledge of education policy and law is also important. School board members should be familiar with education policy and law, including the federal and the state laws and regulations, as well as district policies and procedures. And the last one, commitment to equity and diversity. School board members should be committed to promoting equity in the district. This includes being able to identify and address issues of bias and discrimination, as well as work to create a positive and inclusive school culture. In summary, school board members should possess a range of skills and qualities, including effective communication and collaboration, strong leadership skills, analytical and critical thinking, financial management, knowledge of education policy and law, and a commitment to equity. By utilizing these skills, school board members can help to contribute to the effective operations of their school board and ensure that all students have access to high-quality education. Thank you.
Throughout campaigning, I've questioned whether or not I am suitable for this job, and thank you, Angelica. After your speech there, I feel like I meet the requirements. But what skills do I have that allow me to contribute to the board as a whole? I have served on multiple boards and committees over the years. I was county commissioner for 4 years, so I understand how things work on a board. The votes do not always go the way you want. You win some and you lose some. I've been happily married for 23 years and live with 2 women. Believe me, I know what it's like to lose some. I do not take things personal, and I feel when you're serving on a board that is very, very important. You have to say what's on your mind, say what you believe, and if it does, and listen to others. Be open-minded and show them the same respect that you expect. Take the time to listen and really learn how they view things. We're all different. We all have different backgrounds. But by taking the time in a board, you can learn a lot. And there's a lot of skills that I continue to learn, and it's a great board, so I look forward to it. Thank you.
Decisions made in that boardroom have a ripple effect that impacts not only our teachers, but our students as well. As a former educator, I know what it's like to be in the trenches, spending every day in the classroom. I hope to be a bridge between the board and the teachers. As a business owner, I'm a very goal-oriented person. I set short-term, measurable goals to help me reach my long-term goals. I can see the big picture to know where I want to go over the course of a year and break it down into smaller goals with deadlines to keep myself on track and stay on course. I believe we can do the same with the school board. By focusing on the big picture, the long-term goals, that's how we're going to stay on track. That's how we avoid being distracted by individual or personal opinions or issues. It's imperative that as a board, to be successful, we must focus on the long-term results and not get lost in the day-to-day operations and methods. As a mom, I'm a planner. I know that for my busy family to stay on schedule, I need to plan and prepare as much as possible, whether it's getting out the door for a Little League baseball game, Easter Sunday, Thanksgiving dinner, whatever it is. You have to have an end goal in mind, and you have to work backwards from that point, looking at every step along the way. That's how I know where to start and which step to take. I believe serving on the school board can be approached the same way. You need to be able to think through the effective operations and methods to reach the end goals and get to where you want the district to be. These skills will allow me to be an effective board member and create a smooth, highly functioning school district.
So again, through my experience, I have crafted a working relationship with past school board trustees, in which I see 2 of them here tonight, superintendents, teachers, administrators, based on mutual respect, collegiality, and a joint commitment to student success. Because that's what I want, student success, nothing else. Number 2, school team development and training as required by the state of Texas, including a relationship with the superintendent and community, which is all of us. And as I said before, I would like to really see the school district build partnerships with the city, county, hospital, and even the college. If we all come together again, we can do so much for our kids and parents. And just keep in mind that I love people, and for those of you who know me, I'm a very transparent person, and this is one of my skills that I have. Thank you so much.
How can the board work together with different opinions? I think what makes boards work and committees work, taking a group of people with different backgrounds and having them all work together for the same goal. I say the same goal here because I think it's safe to say everyone up here has the same goal: to make PBTISD a better place. Otherwise, why would you be seeking a position on the board? Differing opinions is what makes it work, as long as every board member stays open-minded and committed to the goal of making PBTISD a better place for students and staff. I am very open-minded, and I am passionate about what I believe in. I will work hard at getting what I believe in is best for the students. I will treat everyone with the same respect that they treat me. I will give them my undivided attention to listen to what they believe is the best thing in any situation, but I expect the same. And when everyone has had time to discuss the topic at hand and the votes are counted, I will not hold grudges if it does not go my way. Thank you.
I believe the world works best with differing opinions. Being open-minded and hearing all sides of reason can allow us to make decisions and do what's right for the school and for our students. This question reminds me of the early days of parenthood when Jake and I would have ridiculous fights about packing the car. We would be leaving to go out of town and packing suitcases, high chairs, strollers, all the things. And we both had a certain way of doing it. And we would have a pretty bad argument, quite frankly. We eventually made a rule that only one of us would pack the car, because all we needed was to get the car packed and loaded. The method of doing so doesn't really matter so long as the car was packed and we had everything we needed. Now, I believe the same can be said for the school board. If the result is the same and we can all agree that the end result is the most important issue, the method of getting there doesn't matter. The school board should be working together. We should all have the same end goals in mind, and everyone's opinion and perspective should be heard. Then as a board, we can come together as a whole to make the best decision possible.
Working with a leadership team means that sometimes it's better to go along with the group decision as long as there is evidence they are acting on sound reasoning and in good faith. Reasonable people can disagree on important issues. A healthy boardroom discussion requires information to be looked at from multiple points of view with a willingness to challenge assumptions and biases. In the past, I've worked with the board with different opinions, and it's very disappointing, especially when at the end, students were hurt. And honestly, I came back to Pecos and I learned about this issue, and I was right. I would not allow this to happen because there was no good reasoning and there was bad faith on the superintendent and board members.
It's not uncommon for board members, whether it's the city, the county, the hospital, or school board members, to have different opinions and perspectives on various issues. However, it is important for the boards to find ways to work together effectively, despite these differences. Here are some strategies that can be used to foster collaboration among school board members with different opinions. The school board should work together to establish a shared vision and goals for the district. This will provide a common foundation for decision-making and help ensure that all members are working together, as all my opponents had said, towards the same goal, which is student success. Create an open and respectful environment. That is important for the board to create that open and respectful environment where all members feel comfortable expressing their opinions, no matter what it is, and their ideas without fear of judgment or retribution. This can be achieved through active listening, constructive feedback, and a willingness to consider alternative viewpoints. Also, we need to use data and evidence-based decision-making. Data and evidence can help guide decision-making and provide a neutral basis for the discussion. The board can use data to help inform their decisions and to help build consensus around a particular issue. We should also encourage compromise and collaboration. The board should be open to compromise and collaboration, even if it means deviating from their initial position. Members should be encouraged to work together and effectively for the district. And we need to focus on the bigger picture. Board members should always keep in mind the bigger picture and the long-term goals of the district. This can help prevent disagreements over minor issues from becoming major roadblocks to progress. Thank you.
While I may not always agree with decisions that are made, I believe the board needs to be unified and decisions need to be made as a whole. I do believe that I have the right to express my own opinions and to disagree if I feel it necessary. However, at the end of the day, the board needs to be unified and consistent with one goal in mind: student success. Studies have shown time and time again that a unified and stable school board directly affects student outcomes. It's no different than corporate culture. We all have jobs, we all have bosses. A stable and happy work environment starts at the top. You need consistency at the top, at the middle, and at the bottom for an effective, efficient, and successful organization to operate. Consistency in the board and in the administration will lead to better opportunities for our teachers, allowing us to focus on ensuring they have more educational training and professional development. This leads to more success for our children in the classroom. I believe the board's role is to provide the vision. The administration implements the methods to achieve that vision, and the teachers are the ones that row the boat, and we are all working together to reach an end goal. At the end of the day, I'm only one of 7 people, and we need to work together and be unified to make the best decisions possible.
Could you support a board decision you do not vote in favor of? Why or why not? No, as indicated before. I voted against once when the board decided to go with UT Austin's system instead of going with your community college. Huge mistake. I could not understand the reasoning of the superintendent, but to my conclusion, that superintendent was not effective because not all board members were included on issues concerning our district. Now, today, we're back in track.
As a member of a school board, it is the responsibility of each board member to act in the best interest of the school district and its students, regardless of whether or not they agree with a particular decision. If a decision is made by the board, even if a member did not vote in favor of it, it is important for that member to support the decision and work collaboratively with the rest of the board to implement it. Here are a few reasons why, as a school board member, I should support decisions made by the board, even if I did not vote in favor of them. We've got to respect the democratic process. School boards operate as a democratic system, with each member having an equal vote. Once a decision is made by the board, board members should accept and respect the decision. Number 2, collective responsibility. As a member of the board, each member shares collective responsibility for the decisions that are made, even if an individual did not vote in favor of a particular decision. It is important for them to work collaboratively with the rest of the board to ensure that the decision is implemented effectively. And last, focus on the best interests of the district and its students. Ultimately, the goal of the school board is to ensure that the district is providing the best possible education for its students. If a decision is made by the board, it is important to support it if it is in the best interest of the district and the students. Thank you.
Could I support a board decision for which I did not vote in favor of? Yes, I could support a board decision I did not vote in favor of in most cases. I have served on multiple boards and committees such as Reeves County Commissioners Court, as I've said numerous times. Reeves County Junior Livestock Show, Pecos Valley Country Club. I have learned you win some, you lose some. You cannot take it personal. I've learned over the years on being on different boards that if you take it personal, you will not be able to get anything accomplished as a board member. All you can do as a board member is explain why I voted the way I did and why other board members felt different on the matter. But once the board has voted on it, that is what you have to deal with. Sometimes it turns out to be for the better, sometimes it turns out to be for the worse. But all you can do as a board member is deal with every issue that comes up and do what I think is best for the students. Living in a small town, that can become hard to do sometimes because the board will have to make decisions that affects friends and family. But if elected, I will always do what I feel is right for the students and staff.
Students, making sure that they are receiving a quality education in every student is treated in a peace and just way when having disciplinary issues, regardless of their social status. Safety of students and Pecos-Barstow-Toyah ISD is of most important to me, especially with everything currently happening. The employee morale. We are in need of bus drivers, cafeteria workers, custodians, maintenance workers. I feel that we should all be equal regardless of educational backgrounds or social status. All Pecos-Barstow-Toyah ISD are overworked, but we all need a job to serve in this world. I want Pecos-Barstow-Toyah ISD employees to be given the opportunity to educate themselves and become possible teachers for our school district instead of trying recruiting out-of-town educators. For example, the paraprofessionals and substitute teachers can be our future teachers. Transparency. A board should be transparent to the public and be honest individuals serving in social status at all levels. Having board meetings live is a good example of transparency. I will work to continue striving education excellence in a loving, peaceful, nurturing, and supportive environment where everyone feels safe and secure. Salaries, bus drivers, cafeteria workers, custodians, maintenance should be increased. I wanted to inform that custodians work during spring break. I believe they deserve time off with their family as well. Thank you.
As a board member, I will have many opportunities to create and deliver accomplishments during my term. These are 4 areas that I would like to address as a board member. First and foremost, enhancing school safety. I believe we can all agree on that. School safety is crucial for the well-being of students, teachers, and staff. A school board can work towards enhancing school safety by implementing effective security measures, training staff on emergency protocols, and creating a positive school culture that promotes respect and tolerance. Ensuring student success. The primary goal of any school board should be to ensure that all students have access to a high-quality education that prepares them for success in their future careers and life. The board can work towards this by setting high academic standards, promoting innovative teaching techniques and programs, and investing in professional development for teachers. Fostering community engagement is important. A school board should engage parents, educators, and other stakeholders in the community to ensure that they have a voice in the educational process. The board, I know that we're doing some of this already, and we can continue to create more opportunities for community members to participate in the decision-making process through having committee meetings or surveys. And lastly, managing finances effectively. A school board must allocate resources effectively and efficiently. A lot of times we forget about the efficient part, to ensure that they can provide quality education to all students. The board should prioritize spending on programs and initiatives that support the student learning and achievement while also being mindful of the budget. Thank you.
If I'm elected to be a school board trustee, what would I hope to accomplish during my years of service? I would love to see the bonds passed where we can continue to build and remodel schools and improve other facilities. I would like to continue expanding trade programs. Not all students want to go to college or can go to college after high school. I would like students to be able to experience trades such as electricians, plumbers, mechanics, and things of that nature, where they have an idea what they're getting into after they leave high school. I want to help PBTISD continue the path it's on. It won't be necessarily my accomplishment per se, but if it will be a huge accomplishment to get all new schools and facilities and not cost the taxpayers any more money than they are paying now. If the bonds don't pass, at some point the taxes will have to be raised in order to replace the schools, and I do not want that. While out campaigning, the first thing people ask are, why are you running for election? What has happened that you don't like, and what do you want to change? What are you trying to accomplish? I'm not out here running for school board because I have an agenda per se. I've been happy with a lot of things that are current on the board, that the board and staff has accomplished, and I saw 2 seats not seeking re-election. I thought to myself, I'm qualified to be a board member. I should step up and do my part to help PBTISD become a great place for students to get his or her education. I'd like to thank you again, maybe the last time I get to speak, for all coming out. Lupe, the election committee, for having us. The county for live streaming. I guess not for sure where you find it on the county website. So, thank y'all.
One of my key accomplishments would be to have a successful and effective school system, which would mean having a successful and effective school board. This looks like ample training for our school board and for the school board to learn our role and place while being put back into an appropriate position as a board. I believe the board's role is to identify and set the guiding principles of the district and allow the leadership in place to do their job. If we, as a board, have done our job correctly, the people tasked with achieving our goals and following those principles can and will do their job successfully. I believe the board needs to be more focused on results than methods. How do we do that? By focusing on setting goals, with measurable benchmarks along the way, providing the training and resources necessary to help ensure those goals are met, and getting out of the way of the educational professionals whose job it is to meet those goals. I would like to see the school board come together as a unified group, working together to put the right people in the right positions, and then allowing them to do their job. A key accomplishment would be defining our guiding principles for the district, setting high expectations with measurable goals along the way, and putting the right people in the right seats with the tools they need to help our children with their educational goals.
All right. Thank you for hanging in there with us. Last question here. This was, as a school board member, it's always it's a challenging task to make budget decisions. The decision to cut the budgets in certain areas, they have to be made thoughtfully and carefully. And we have to take into account that the potential impact on students, staff, and the overall educational program when you're making these budget changes. So here are some areas that should not be considered for budget cuts. We do have a healthy budget at this point, so I don't think that we will be cutting or we should be cutting anything at the moment. Okay, first, our programs and services that directly impact student learning. Those programs and services that are essential to the mission of the district, such as the instructional programs, the student support services, and professional development for staff. They should not be considered for budget cuts. The health and safety. The health and safety of students and staff should never be compromised in budget decisions. Essential services such as the counseling, nursing, and security should never be considered for budget cuts. And the recruitment and retention stipends that we currently have, stipends that attract teachers in shortage areas. Sometimes that's the math, the science, special ed, bilingual, and so on. Those stipends are crucial for recruitment. Also, retention bonuses for the teachers who choose to make Pecos their home and they remain in our district. Those should not be considered for budget cuts. Thank you.
If elected, where would I look to make budget changes, and which areas would I not consider cutting? I'm going to start off with answering the second part of the question first. I would not consider cutting any salaries or benefits to any employees. I would not consider cutting any safety measures and health at any cost. I want to work hard at keeping and getting new staff, not giving them a reason to look for another place to work. As where I would like to make budget changes, from what I've seen in the current board and staff is doing an excellent job with the budget. 2 straight years, they've come back with clean audits and being able to pay down the debt on the last bond, saving us just over $56 million in interest payments. That is incredible. Hopefully the new bonds are passed, and if so, there will be money that can be pulled out of maintenance and repair budgets and used elsewhere. Yes, we will still have to budget for maintenance and repair even on new buildings, but it will cost us a lot less to keep up new buildings than 50 to 60-year-old buildings. That money can be used to hire more staff, help other departments that have been working off lower budgets, and pay back bonds even faster than they are doing now. With the new career technology and education and science facility being built, I would like to see more money budgeted to help students that want to learn a trade, such as nursing, welding, cosmetology, and others. Thank you all very much.
In this instance, I would consult and defer to the people with the education and who specialize in school budgets and school finances. I will not stand here and pretend to be the end-all, be-all, and know everything. However, I believe that we have the right people in the right positions for this job, and I would absolutely consult and defer to them for advice. Then I would want to have a discussion as a board, bringing our own thoughts, opinions, and experiences to the table to make the best decision. One area of focus would be to ensure that we have budgeted appropriately to support high student outcomes. This includes everything from supplies and resources for students to compensation for teachers and staff. I believe this goes back to having the end goal in mind and setting goals for the district. I believe the board's job is to set goals and ensure the goals are being met by setting measurable tasks, especially when you take into account the amount of revenue coming into our district. We are operating on a healthy budget right now with the ability to pay off $90 million in bond debt in 2 years. In our current financial situation, I would question if budget cuts are even necessary.
So as a board member, where would I like to make budget changes? Our local people who have been here for many years have made Pecos their home and paid taxes in this community. I believe we have staff in our school district at the Pecos-Barstow-Toyah ISD that they are equally qualified to hold positions in the administration team. Another budget change, increase salaries for our bus drivers, the custodians, cafeteria workers, maintenance. Increase security in all schools. We need more police officers. Where I'm thinking about not cutting, consider sponsoring the paraprofessionals in getting their teacher certification for those seriously interested so they can become our teachers. Budget teachers for supplies needed in their classrooms. And, as I said before, continue supporting dual credit students so by the end of their senior year, they may receive an associate's degree and they can move on to the university of their choice. Thank you.